Well, I'm on the Iseki stand and I'm with David Withers, and great to see you, David.
Nice to see you, sir.
You've got a new machine. We're standing in front of a brand new machine. Can you just tell us a little bit about it, please?
Sure, yeah. No, so this is a new thing for us as Iseki. It's not actually manufactured by Iseki. We're going to be distributing it here in the UK and Ireland, and it's called the Addax MT 15. So this is a lithium battery-powered electric vehicle which you can put on the road. But obviously it's mainly going to be used around parks, schools, universities, that sort of thing. We're very excited. A lot of people are trying to move away from internal combustion engines and seeing how they can decarbonise. And so this is an opportunity to people to look at their vehicle fleets and be able to decarbonise them with a great new product.
And battery-wise, you go by hours or you go by distance? How do you judge how long and good the battery is?
Yeah, I mean, this one is geared up to be around about 80 to 100 miles you could do on a charge, which we're not expected to go up and down the A1. This is for going around parks and stuff, so that should be plenty for an 8-hour day. We tend to look at it as miles.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. So along with your regular portfolio of products there, everything's looking not too bad for Iseki at the moment?
No, I mean, demand is amazing. We've seen a huge demand for our normal cut and collect mowers and our tractors. And I think that's driven by the fact that we're out there, we're promoting the product, we've got a lot of guys on the road, we've got great dealers, and we're just seeing a lot of demand. So our biggest problem right now is just keeping up with the amount of volume that we've got, the amount of demand that we have. So we're probably right now, if you ordered a new machine today, you're probably talking about September. Delivery, so we're probably 4 or 5 months delay, and that's simply because the order book is so full. As the new stuff comes in, it fulfills that order book, and then new orders keep rolling in. So,
well, having spoken to a few of the people out, that sort of puts you in the better half of lead times almost, which is people are going to have to get their heads around that, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, I think one of the big differences is when we look at Iseki, we manufacture our own engines, our own gearboxes, our own hydrostats. So much of the machine is actually manufactured ourselves in our own plants. Whereas a lot of other companies, if you think about it, they buy an engine from here, they buy a gearbox from there. So their supply chains are much more fragmented than ours are. And so I think whilst we're still offering a delay to our customers, which we don't want to do, it's a bit more controllable than perhaps for some of the other manufacturers.
Now, you're a man who sees the big picture. What do you see as the challenges for the industry going forward over the next few months and couple of years, perhaps?
Well, I think the next 2 years, to be honest, we are going to be in that place where demand is outstripping supply. If you think about this over the last 25, 30 years, if all of the factories of all the manufacturers are running flat out, they can build more machines than the market demands. And right now, that is not the case. And it's the first time in 30 years or 35 years that I can remember that being the situation. So I think what you're seeing is the factories now gearing up for that additional demand. But I think that demand is a bit of a bubble. We had COVID, people didn't buy. Now we're suddenly getting, everybody wanting to acquire new product. It is a bubble. And I think at some point you're going to get through that and we'll get back to normal situation where there's perhaps more availability of supply than there is of demand. But personally, I would guess that's going to be 2024/25 before we get to that point. So I think the next few years you're going to be talking about availability.
So customers are going to have to be patient.
Yes, I mean, I think, customers have been, don't want to say this really, but customers have been spoiled. People have been able to ring up in March and say, yes, I've just had this approved, I want to buy a new greens mower, tractor, whatever it happens to be, and expect it to be delivered in April, and it was delivered in April. The reality is now, golf courses and other people looking for their capital expenditure need to be looking today at what they want delivered in spring 2023, and almost working a year ahead of themselves. Otherwise, they're going to be disappointed.
Interesting comments, but it's lovely to catch up with you again, David, and no doubt we'll see you again as the year progresses. But thanks very much for a little bit of your time, and I hope the rest of the show goes well for you.
Thanks, Scott. Great to see you too.
Okay,
all the best.